Yo, so bam, 2022 is about to be over, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm realizing I'm getting old. I ain't gonna hold you.
Yeah.
We're old heads now. Know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
When I think to anime, I think about like, Dragon Ball Z. But I feel like Naruto is really the thing I really grew up with. Know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And I remember last week's episode we were talking about sacrifice and what you're willing to give up, right?
Yeah.
Naruto, he's an interesting character. Like Hokage, his number one dream.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But he wasn't willing to sacrifice everything for that number one dream.
True, because he's in his mind, if he had to sacrifice the things that people were telling him to sacrifice, aka Sasuke, then he doesn't deserve to be Hokage. Hokage should be strong enough to protect all the things he cares about. So, if you sacrificed it, are you really capable of being that person that can protect everything?
That's a fact. And at first I was like, yo, take Sasuke out. But then, like, I think Naruto made the right decision by not taking out Sasuke throughout his journey.
I don't know if he made the right decision, to be honest with you. Like, I don't know if he did. I think we could have lived. I think the Elite Village would have been alright without Sasuke, to be honest with you.
I mean, Kaguya would still happen, and like taking her out, and so like ending the war stuff. Imagine if he took out Sasuke and then Kabuto revived him as a war candidate.
Mm-hmm. As an Edo Tensei.
Yeah, Edo Tensei. That would been crazy.
Yeah. The story would have definitely went in a different direction, but yeah,
that's a whole other thing.
Mm-hmm.
So Naruto, number one goal is to become a Hokage, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's typically like, I think when you think of shonen, that's typically like what's associated with the shonen. The number one this, the pirate king, the number one hero, the number one this, that, and the third, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I recently was watching My Hero Academia, and Endeavor, his goal was to become the number one hero.
Okay, yep, that's true.
Unlike Naruto, he was willing to sacrifice everything. Is that accurate? Would you say that's accurate?
I think you're right about that. I don't know if he's willing to sacrifice everything. He's willing to definitely sacrifice a lot. He's willing to sacrifice a lot. But something tells me he's not willing to sacrifice his pride. Because his pride is an aspect of what makes him want to become the number one hero. And trying to defeat All Might. Like, why is it so important for him to be the number one hero? Like, I understand aspiring to be the number one hero.
Yeah.
But to actually be it, like, it was such an intense need for Endeavor that he was willing to destroy his whole family structure. You know what I mean? Like, he was willing to just... I don't even think he was registering that he was destroying his family, because he built his family from the perspective of, I'm creating an offspring that could surpass All Might. But then it's kind of like, okay, you're kind of losing the point of doing this hero thing, right? If you're just so committed to this idea. That's one of the things that's super interesting about Endeavor's character, especially nowadays, going through his redemption arc and trying to figure things out. And if you guys are up to date with the anime, we're going into spoiler territory there. We'll let you know if we get to spoiler territory when it comes to the manga. You're up to date with the manga too, right, Doctor?
Actually, yeah, that's one manga I'm actively reading right now.
Okay.
And I'm reading One Piece, I'm reading Berserk, I'm reading My Hero Academia.
Oh, Berserk's still going on?
Yeah. His like best friend is continuing the story.
Oh, shout out to him, man. Shout out to the best friend. Okay, so with that being said, guys, me and Dr. Griffs, we like being free in these conversations. So, warning now, there might be spoilers for the anime and the manga ahead when it comes to talking about Endeavor, but we'll try to be kind of tame with it, I guess, and just try to focus on this character so far.
I kind of disagree. I feel like Endeavor, it wasn't even about, well, there was definitely pride involved, but like, he's different from Naruto. Hell, he's even different from Vegeta.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Very different from Vegeta. There's similarities though, but yeah.
Similarities, but in a sense, he was like, okay, I can't be the number one hero. I realize All Might is stronger than I can ever be. So the next best step is my lineage will be the number one hero.
Yeah.
Naruto said something like, okay, I can't be the Hokage, but my son will be the Hokage.
Yeah.
Vegeta definitely didn't say, yo, I can't be Kakarot. My son.
Yeah, he never said that. Yeah.
Endeavor was like, yo, listen, I did all I could. But clearly this isn't for my generation. He had the will of fire. Endeavor.
He did have the will of fire. That's absolutely true. Maybe his will was a little bit too close to fire because he was burning everything around him. But yeah, but like I'm trying to understand that. You know what I mean? Like like because I think with Endeavor, like in the world of quirks, it's not like the world of like Naruto, and it's not like the world of Dragon Ball, right? Because in the world of Naruto, Dragon Ball, the power system is structured in such a way that everyone has an understanding that in the world of Naruto, someone's stronger than you, be like, okay, just get better at your ninjutsu, learn some new techniques, figure out that person's weakness. Alright, cool. You could potentially beat them in different scenarios. It's only until we get to the later part of Naruto and Naruto Shippuden where you get characters that like, yeah, bruh, there's no amount of jutsus you're gonna learn can't surpass me, right? Then we get into Dragon Ball, which is all about just power levels, and like every character has the potential to increase their power levels. My Hero Academia has a lot more of a tight power system, whereas like you have some wiggle room with your quirk, but some quirks just gonna clap other quirks no matter what. And I think Endeavor has he has an S tier quirk, to keep it real. Just All Might has an SS tier quirk. Like he just can't figure it out to get there. So it's so interesting that his passion to become number one consumed him to such a degree that he really projected himself onto his children. And what's crazy about it is not the fact that like, you know, like those moms, you know, like those moms and dads that have like child actors, and they have like their kid that is like really talented, so they kind of push their kid into it and they kind of like put themselves on the kid. This is different than Endeavor scenarios, because when a parent has a child in our world, you don't know if the child's going to come out super talented or capable or really interested in gymnastics or like some sport or acting career. But Endeavor, he planned that. You know what I'm saying? There's not much different when you think about it. Todoroki, Shoto Todoroki is not much different in concept to a Nomu, because it's the same kind of desire to create something that has the potential to defeat All Might.
I hear you saying, Ben. If you were to have children in the future,
yeah,
and you could choose that your child would be 6'5" or 4'2", would you make that choice?
Ooh, well, those are my only two options.
Well, I guess in that spectrum.
Oh, in that spectrum. You know, a calm 5'11". You know, a calm 5'11" for my son. Maybe 5'10", just for humility. You know what I'm saying? But you know, yeah. So you would actively try to, you know, design or make the best decision that you think is for your child. That's what you're saying. I will say definitely if I'm in that position. I see where you're going with this, but definitely if I'm in that position, yes, because I feel like what potential parent wouldn't want to make sure their child is set up the best way they can for success.
Yeah.
I think I'm a little bit in the camp of like, maybe some things are not meant for us to put our hand on the wheel. You know what I mean? Because like, look at Endeavor and then look at Dabi, right? Like Endeavor put his hand on the wheel and then created a monster. You know what I mean? And then he created two other kids that just like are emotionally and mentally messed up in their own way. And then you create Shoto Todoroki that's still mentally and emotionally messed up. Yeah.
Endeavor definitely messed up, but I feel like he's a very realistic character. Like, okay, we don't have the ability to say, I want my child to be half, you know, ice, half fire.
Yeah.
But we do have the ability to say, you know, I have this genetic disease, you have this genetic disease, maybe I shouldn't have children with you.
True.
I come from this level of wealth, you come from this level of wealth. We can probably make this work. Hey, I want my child to have a pretty good future. I want them to grow up in this neighborhood versus that neighborhood. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So we do, in some ways, try to design the life of our child.
That is true. You're right about that.
So, I mean, I get what, like, okay. Keep in mind, Endeavor became active when, like, All For One was, like, really big. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because he was around the same time as All Might. So, yeah. You're right.
And I think with the story, like, before All For One, there's, like, a whole... He, like, created all these villains that, like, until All Might happened, the Rose was running the world, right? So Endeavor saw all this stuff growing up.
Yeah, true.
So there's probably some trauma there. I think I saw somewhere that his dad was killed by a villain and all that stuff. So,
yeah, I don't know how much of it is. I don't know how much of it's fan fiction, how much of it's thing. Yeah, I used to be really deep into My Hero Academia, the lore, but the Endeavor stuff, the Endeavor backstory stuff, I'm always like, is this canon or non-canon? I don't think Horikoshi's confirmed anything when it comes to that. Let me know in the comment section down below if he has, if you guys are really up to date with My Hero Academia in that way. But yeah, I've been seeing images online like his mom is like has lava for hair, and his dad had a telekinetic quirk, which would make sense. You know, combine the fire lava thing with telekinesis. Boom, you got a pyrokinetic. But I think that's I think that's non-canon fan fiction. It'll be nice. It kind of makes sense story-wise for what Endeavor's power set would be. But yeah.
And just for clarification, what exactly is Endeavor's quirk?
Well, the name of the quirk is called Hell Flames, but it's basically pyrokinesis. His body can generate intense amounts of heat, and then he can telekinetically shape and mold the fire to do what he wants. So it's a combination of producing fire while also being able to mentally control the shape and structure of the fire. Yeah.
Of the fire that he produces.
The fire he produces. He can't firebend other people's fire. He can only manipulate the fire he can produce.
Gotcha. Like, I feel like even that quirk itself, powerful, but it's like meant for a villain. You know what I'm saying?
A lot of quirks are really meant for villains when you think about it, but he's not that much different from like the Human Torch from like Fantastic Four, you know?
Fair. Yeah. Good point. But that's like an easy path for villainy. That's After us committer. Fire Nation. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's an easy villainy path. So I understand why he's hot-headed and he made those decisions. I do think Endeavor, he's interesting because like we see him degrade over time, right?
Okay.
With his first child, he's happy. He's like, okay, you don't have the ice powers, but we can make this work.
Yeah.
Then he sees his first child start like burning themselves. He's like, okay, you really got chill. You really got chill.
Yeah, get some ice, bro. Get some ice.
And like, you know, each child after that, he gets worse and worse, and his first child dies, and
then he doubled down. He doubled down after his first child dies. He doubled down. He doesn't take a backseat and pull back and be like, my firstborn son wanted to show me his new fire techniques in the forest. I said no. He did it anyway and died. Let me double down on my fourth son and push him even further. Like,
well, one way you can look at it, not justifying his actions. One way you can look at it, his first son, he said, okay, I left the child alone. He still went down this path.
Yeah.
So this child is giving my whole. I'm gonna be around him all the time.
Yeah. We're also seeing, you know what I'm saying? Like, we're also seeing how different personalities can be impacted by a parental figure that tries to create this tight path and road that they're forcing the kid to be on. You know what I mean? So you kind of have, like, we have 4 examples, right? We have one child that is the is the first hope, the first dream of Endeavor, and he puts all of his energy into developing this child into being that number one hero. The child develops a personality of like, I want to make my father proud. I want to like be the number one hero because that's what I was created to be. If I don't be that, what is life? This is all my father has taught me. I don't hang out with other people. I don't have other siblings. I don't have friends like that. It's like, this is what it's about. And then he starts burning himself, and then he's like, he has a choice. He has to make kind of in a split second with his emotions running. Do I disappoint my father, who's setting up this whole world that I'm supposed to? That's just what I'm created to be, or do I just double down and just try my best? Be like, hey, what's a little burn? Like, you know, I'll figure it out at the end of the day. So we have that personality then it gets rejected by Endeavor. And then his personality goes like, but this is what I was created to be. You're rejecting my whole existence. Like, this is the only reason why you got with my mom was to create me. Like, this is the reason. Like, you're literally taking away that kid's reason to exist. Then you have child number 2, the second son, who goes didn't develop a quirk built for combat whatsoever. So he completely is like just rejected from the get-go from Endeavor. Like, once he turned age of 5 and that quirk he got show my guy just a regular schmegler thing, he was like, Endeavor just ignored him. You know what I mean?
He has ice powers? Or
they never specified. At least within the anime, even in the manga, they never specified what his powers is. All we know is that it's useless for hero work. I think like you could kind of look at the Todoroki family and just look at their hair. So the more white they have in their hair, the more ice-based. So I think he has a high ice resistance, you know.
Okay.
But he doesn't have a quirk that's viable for combat or fight or being a hero whatsoever. Yeah.
Sorry, I just had an epiphany.
Okay, hit it.
You keep going. You were on the trail. You keep going.
Okay, so yeah, so the second son completely discarded by Endeavor. Didn't even get a chance to connect or do it. So the second son is like, yo, my dad I don't even exist to my dad. You know, freak this dude. Freak this. Like, he's never been here. He's never went to a basketball game for me. He's never came to like my talent shows at school. Like, freak this dude. Everybody at my school likes him because he's number one hero. But if they knew,
number two.
Oh, the number 2 hero. But if they knew who this guy was, you know what I'm saying? That's in his head. Then you have the third daughter who had a personality that's like, I just want to have a family. I want to know what it's like to have that family. What would that family structure be? Like, I'm really craving that. I really need that. So she's really fighting to create an environment that would cultivate that because she's never had that. So she's hungry for it. Then you got Shoto. And man literally rejects Endeavor so hard. He looks up to All Might more than he looks up to Endeavor. You know,
he doesn't use fire for like a good chunk of his life.
Yeah, total rejection. Like, his mom burnt his face, but Shoto had enough mental clarity and knowledge at the time as a kid that like, no, Dad, you're the one. Mom may have burned my face, but it's because of you, the trauma you created to all of us. Why she burned the side of my face that looks like you. That's like, you know.
Fair.
Yeah, so Endeavor's,
So Endeavor is interesting because let me see the epiphany first.
Yes.
I thought about like, you know, celebrity parents and athletes, and they pair together, and like, if you a quarterback and your child wants to play chess, like, I know you're kind of happy for them, but you're like, come on. You know what I'm saying?
I feel like you'd be happy for them. Unless you see them, you take them to the gym, like, when they're like 7 years old and they're able to bench 300 pounds, and you're like, come on, bro.
Like, yeah. Then I started thinking about, if we've seen this in other shows, and the epiphany was Aang. Aang, the Last Airbender.
Go into that.
Fast forward Korra.
Okay.
How many kids did Aang have?
Yo, Aang got busy with it. No, did he? No, 3 kids. Yeah, I guess was busy.
When did he stop?
At an airbender. Yo, you're right. Yo, he's like the first. Oh no way.
Now, Aang, he's a monk, so he wasn't as abusive as Endeavor, but like similar. Like people think that way. People do the things. You know what I'm saying?
Yo,
Aang, the most unproblematic hero we got.
Yo, imagine we create a thumbnail that's like Endeavor equals Aang. Why these characters are the same?
But yeah, that was the epiphany. But what's interesting about Endeavor, his journey is like, imagine if, Naruto becomes Hokage. He finally actualized his dream, and he's like, was it really worth it? Do I actually like this?
Yeah, that's what happened to Endeavor, right?
Yes, that's Endeavor.
Damn. Yeah. Because that's why I was mentioning earlier. I felt like Endeavor was losing sight of what it meant to be a hero in the first place to do this job, and that kind of goes in line with what the villains are kind of on about, like what Shigaraki is kind of talking about. More so this season 6, is you're not even understanding why there's heroes and villains. You're not understanding the system that's being created that is involved in this. Now, I'm not saying that system was designed in such a way to inspire a person like Endeavor to become the #1 hero and make him be an abuser to his family. I'm not saying the system was designed that, but something in the system did allow for this aspiration to become the #1 hero. Okay, so here's the issue with the system is that there's even this concept of this ranking of the #1 hero. And then you have these capitalistic portions of it, where it's like the higher your rank as a hero, the more financial capital you get. And when you throw money into the act of like saving people and doing good for people and risking your life for people can be very selective in terms of what jobs they take. I think I was watching a video where a person was based on this, and we're going into a little bit of manga spoilers. So like how in the rural areas in My Hero Academia, in the world of My Hero Academia, people with mutation quirks are mistreated, right? Someone was making a video saying, how did the people in My Hero Academia like live in a world where different portions in the world are mistreated while other places are kind of safe and secure, right? The city is more safe and secure for people with mutant quirks because there's a higher hero presence. Why is there higher hero presence? Because there's more chances to be publicized as a hero in the cities, because there's more people engaging there. So there's more money for heroes doing hero work in cities. But rural areas, there's less people, there's less funding, there's less economic uplift in those areas. So hero work is not as profitable in those locations, right? So like there is that idea that the hero system is structured in such a way in My Hero Academia where people are making tactical moves for their career rather than prioritizing the lives of other people. Now, that's not really put on the forefront, especially for the first couple seasons, but I think as we dive deeper and deeper into the series itself, we can kind of see how, this hero system kind of is creating these messed up ways of thinking for heroes. Even if we look at Ochako, her main thing of being a hero is to put food and money on the table for her family. Now, Ochako is a good, decent human being that actually cares about people and wants to maximize saving lives. But that still doesn't change. If hero work didn't pay the bills, she probably wouldn't be doing it. No.
That's solid.
Yeah.
I don't have much to say about all that.
Not to say that heroes shouldn't be paid for what they do.
Yeah.
But it's kind of like the system. The system is such that like you have people that get super competitive and get lost in just becoming #1 and forgetting what's the point of actually being a hero at the end of the day. and you get a person like Endeavor that's just aspiring to be a hero. And Bakugo was on that similar track too. So like he kind of had to go through a lot of character development moments to realize like, oh, what's the point of being a hero? You know, it's like, you know, if you think about it, Bakugo from season 1, 2, 3, I guess he starts figuring shit out when he gets to season 3. His thing is all about victory, all about being number one, right? And it's only until like season 4 to 5 where Bakugo starts getting his head like, oh, I have to connect saving people with being victorious. Because before he would not accept any kind of job or task that didn't involve him going head to head with a villain. Like it was like, nah. You guys can take care of those people that's under that rubble. You guys got that, right? He's like, nah, I'm going directly for the boss, right? Now he's in that framework of thinking where he's like, okay, in order for me to be the best hero, I have to save the most people. I can't lose anybody. Like that's absolute victory. Like I have to protect everybody. That's his thing now. But if he did go to that character development, he would have ended just up like Endeavor, because Bakugo has a great quirk, but Bakugo's quirk would not be able to compete with some of the quirks we've seen in the series. And if those quirks belong to a number one hero or number one hero candidate, like let's say Deku, at a certain point Bakugo would not be able to compete with Deku naturally.
Fair. Yo, man, I know we spoke about My Hero Academia earlier on. I think it was like the bounce guy.
Oh yeah, like, gentle, my boy.
Yeah. This last batch of villains, or can you get around any of their ideologies?
I can get around their feelings about it. I can get around their feelings. I can understand and sympathize with how they came to where they are. Especially with Dabi. Like I understand that pettiness. Like there's a part of me that's like petty, and I understand like, yo, if you put me in a similar situation like that, a similar upbringing like that, I don't know if I would end up just like Dabi, but I can understand how that order of events led to him becoming that. And I even understand Shigaraki too. Because at the end of the day, I think My Hero Academia is kind of conveying the idea, especially to the villains, like it's really about who extends their hand out to you first is who you're going to lean on. In Dabi's case, nobody extended their hand really, so he extended his hand to himself. Shigaraki,
and All For One found him.
All For One have found him. Yeah.
God damn, he's doing real numbers out here.
Yo, my man is like fighting to like, okay, I could take that quirk, but you got that. Nah. I think it's better in your hands, boy. I think it's better in your hands.
All For One Orochimaru.
All For One and Orochimaru would share notes for sure. They'll share notes, and in 50 years they'll try to betray each other and see who would win.
Fair.
Yeah. Yeah, man. I feel like none of the current villains' ideologies in terms of like what they want to do with the world makes sense. Shigaraki, I could kind of get. He kind of just, he's a being that believes he's designed to destroy the world. So, and that makes sense from his quirk and his upbringing and like how people teach him. It's like, it makes sense. He's come to the idea that I'm designed to end this world. Rebuilding it, don't ask me no questions about that. But like ending it, it makes sense based on his powers and everything about him. You know, like he even to the degree that his body has developed this habitual itch and irritation that compels him to destroy stuff. Like the itching only goes away when he sees destruction. Like that's like he's this. So I understand the villains. Like every one of the villains, I understand. But do I connect with their plight and what they're trying to do? Nah, at the end of the day, it's like, what is left behind? Like the world you guys are trying to leave behind. You guys aren't trying to leave behind anything. You guys are Dabi trying to destroy Endeavor. He doesn't care about like what gets obliterated or ends in the process. Even close friends like Twice. He was like, Am I sad? You could interpret it that way, like, you know. But
yeah. I don't know. It's hard for me to really like. I guess I can sympathize with or empathize about their childhood struggles. Shigaraki, he was down bad. He was down bad. The K quirk, Dabi was also down bad. Toga, that's the girl, right? She had the urge to drink blood.
Yes.
Yeah,
it's like back remember in the first couple chapters, if you guys don't know, the first couple chapters, quirks were initially translated as individualities. They changed it to calling it quirks because it made a little bit more sense to a Western audience. But initially, Horikoshi had called them individualities, and then over time he was like, let's just change it to quirks and everything. But the principle of individuality is still the same. Like there's this theory that a person, and I really believe in this theory, there's a theory that someone's personality as they're growing up as a child is built around how they can best maximize using their quirk. The reason why Bakugo's such a hothead is because his quirk is built around him increasing his internal body temperature so that he can create more sweat on his palms, so that he has access to his quirk a lot faster. So he's a hothead because it allows him to use his quirk more.
Okay.
And there's a couple other instances. Of course, we've seen Shigaraki with it. Endeavor is a hothead, makes sense. Fire abilities. There's things built around a person's quirk. Like a person's persona is kind of built around a quirk. Kind of similar to like how us as children might grow up. We have like maybe a particular talent or skill that we're able to do that's really easy. We might build a certain portion of our personality around maximizing our ability to use that. Even certain personality traits, right? Is like if you're a very extroverted person, you might build your whole thing around engaging with people and building your life so that like you're able to engage with people and maximize your personality more. If you're a more introverted person, you might spend less time going out with people, more time thinking for yourself and blah blah blah, all that stuff, So with Toga, she's definitely, you could even tell like how they portray it in the anime and manga. Like she has a compulsion. Like she has connected the urge of her quirk to the idea of love. Because someone did not properly communicate that to her. Be like, no, that's not love. That's just your quirk trying to activate. Okay? That's a different thing. Because Toga could be a lit hero, if you really think about it. Like, in terms of her abilities, in terms of her skill set, she could be an easy espionage hero. She could be working alongside with a Eraserhead or whatever, doing some undercover work or whatever. But someone did not explain to her when she was younger, hey, that's not what you're feeling for that bird right now that you're biting your teeth into isn't love. That's not love. Don't connect that.
I guess I also gotta remind myself that they're all teens. Like, you know what I'm saying? They're not supposed to have like a beautiful, grandiose idea or a really step-by-step plan. Yeah. Like, I think Naruto has a pretty good villain.
True.
Like, Pain is usually associated with like a great plan, and his execution also made sense, and people would they get behind everyone being mad at him. You know what I'm saying? Sasuke, that was his end goal. He's like, okay, I'm gonna be the Shadow Hokage. Everyone will be mad at me. And
Sasuke was still a teen too. So like even his idea, even though Sasuke I think is a very wise character based on his life experience, still a very
Aaron from Attack on Titan, like I could understand.
Yo, Aaron's got a lot of life experience if you think about it. Like, if you think about it, Aaron's got too much life experience. So,
so I guess these batches of villains, I'm kind of like, I see what y'all saying, but I'm not really like.
Yeah, like you're thinking about yourself as a civilian in the world they're trying to create. You don't want to be in that world. You don't want to be. They're not creating a good alternative. They're just saying this world has created me, and I don't like this reality I live in, so I got to destroy it. Which makes sense. I understand that. If you exist in a reality you don't like and you have the power to change it, why wouldn't you change it?
Yeah,
but leave something else. Like leave something that like people can like actually. At least with the liberation army, they're like, the world they were going to create afterwards. I could see if my quirk was nice, if I had an A tier, S tier quirk, I could see myself chilling in the world. But if I had a C, D tier quirk, a quirk that allows me to just, I don't know, change my fingernail color at will, like I'm not trying to live in that world, bro. I'm not trying to do that.
Madara, one of the best villain plans.
True.
He gets to live your dream life. Literally, your dream life.
Yeah.
That's his plan. So, like, when you hear Shikaraku decided to destroy everything, it's like, oh, okay. Thanos, snap, so you get double your resources.
Yeah. But then it's like a 50, like you have to flip a coin to see if you're going to experience that. Yeah. And then it's like the chances are a loved one that you have is not going to make it, so...
But you get the idea, like, okay, resources, I can kind of understand what he's doing here.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just been struggling with getting behind their villains like master plan.
Oh, I get you.
But understand that they're also teens, so I guess it makes sense that because I'm not a teen that I would be like, yo, what are y'all doing?
Yeah. There's no like thinking ahead.
Yes.
Yeah, there's no thinking ahead of like what's to come next. Just purely, I have this feeling that this world is against me. My life experience has showcased that to me. Let's destroy the world. Not even thinking about, let's figure out later. It's just destroy the world. Period.
And it's similar, that mindset is what Endeavor had. He said, I'm not thinking about what next. I just want to be number one.
Yeah.
I'll figure it all out when I get there.
That's mad true. That's so true, bro. Because it's like, once he became number one, he was kind of like, this is number one. Let me go talk to Shoto. Let me see what he's up to. Oh, damn, Shoto really hates me. Hold on.
Do you watch The Boys?
Yeah.
When that just reminded me of Homelander when he was when he was leading the board meeting.
Yeah.
And like the stock prices are going down, and if people try to tell him what he's doing, he's like, I don't understand what this means. Like, yeah, people sacrifice all they can to get to number one, to get there, and then they're like, was it all worth it? Yeah.
I think we could kind of like start to conclude our conversation around that idea. Is Endeavor's a perfect example, even within his name, Endeavor, like he's endeavoring. Endeavor's a perfect example of aspiring for something, aspiring to be the best, but forgetting the point of why he's trying to be the best in that field that he's in. Like, and you could kind of put that into like any kind of job or career or hobby that you're in. Is like, I think we're compelled to try to be the best because of like what people tell us we need to be, and we're always trying to get the best resources we can for ourselves or whatever the case might be. But it's like don't lose track of what's important for you, like why you're trying to be the best in this thing. Is it to protect the people you care about? Is it to make sure your family has enough resources and love that they need? But if you're on this journey to pursue that thing, and then you see your family suffering, aka as we see with Endeavor, then what's the point? You know, you're supposed to, like Endeavor's case, you're supposed to be a hero. Shouldn't it be the easiest to save the people that's closest to you? Like, because right now, bro, it's not the people that are labeled villains aren't actually the villains to your family right now. And that's Endeavor's whole situation. He's the villain to his family, and he has to showcase to his family that, hey, I'm not a villain. I'm actually your father. But like, excuse me, 20 years of experience have taught me, you know,
the meme, let him cook. I'm like, I'll let Bam go off. But I think the interesting thing about Endeavor was he could have, or like, I think objectively speaking, he had a better life when he was number 2. Now it could be like because what's going on in the world, but when he was number 2, he was chilling. Like, if he just took himself out of I gotta be better than All Might, and just looked around, like he had his whole little like company, he had a family that he could have.
Oh yeah, he was good. He was even in terms of like real life, like slice of life standards. his life was way better than All For One's. No, he's way better than All Might's. Like, All Might doesn't have a family that we know about. He's a kind of alone. He's lost everyone he cares about. Like, All Might's life, not his hero stuff. All Might's life. He has he has a issue. He's lost half of his organs. Like, All Might's life is not a good life. Yo. Yeah. And then, isn't it crazy? Your first day as the number one hero, you get a scar across your face and you lose half your lung. Like, is that crazy?
Chilling as number 2. He could have been chilling.
Yo, my man didn't have a single injury his whole hero career. And then the first day at number 1, scar across your face and a punctured lung.
So later on in the manga, alright, y'all know what happens. Y'all know what happens? Like, yo, he could have been chilling as number 2.
Facts.
Number 1 happens, his forgotten son comes out of nowhere, besmirches his whole career. Like, number 2 is pretty calm. Yeah. You don't have to carry the whole world. Like, maybe number 2, number 3 it could be calm. You know what I'm saying?
Honestly, it's calm. Like, I think even if you're on a top 10 list, it's calm, because at the end of the day, it's like you being a number 2 hero. Right? You being a number 2 hero, or even being a top 10. Like, when they put out a hero signal and you arrive, they're not going to be like, oh man, I was expecting. They're not going to be like that. You know, they're going to be like, oh my gosh, Endeavor. Oh, the number 2 hero, shout out to you. Thank you for saying, like, the number 2 is enough. You know what I mean? He's enough in almost every circumstance. Like, it's like, people are going to be like, yo man, we were really hoping to get All Might to save us. No. They're not, that's not what's going to happen, man. Yeah.
I think the point, one of the points of My Hero Academia is you really don't have to be the best. You know what I'm saying? Where you are, could be good enough. You work on what you're doing. Could be good enough. Floppy, there's no reason why she should be in the same field with All For One.
I'm scared, bro. You see how Juro got onto the field too, and I was like, yo, girl, get out of here. This is not for you, bro. This is not for you.
No reason. But, like, she can make it work. You know what I'm saying? The way you are, just make it work. Being number 1 isn't always cracked up to me. That's what I got from Endeavor's story. Work what you got and be happy with it.
Yeah, stay in your lane. Stay in your lane. Help the people, because All Might can't help everybody, right? All Might's quirk, no matter, is great. It's great. It gets a lot of things done. He became number 1 hero for a reason, but there's certain circumstances that his quirk in itself is not going to be the most beneficial helping in, right?
I'm sorry, he could only be at one place at once.
Yes. Yeah. Well, Dr. Griffs, we come to that time, man. We come to that time. Any finishing thoughts you kind of want to put out there for people?
Yeah, I think I guess J. Cole said it better than I can. There's no one's life better than yours and love yours, you know what I'm saying? Like, Endeavor, he could have had a good life if he really just looked around and said, this is fine.
Yeah.
This is what it is, number 1 to me. You know what I'm saying?
True. Well, guys, we thank you guys for watching and engaging with the video. If you liked the conversation, hit that like button. If you have thoughts and opinions you want to share about this topic, you already know the place that you can add those thoughts down below. And of course, subscribe if you want to see more of our handsome faces and us talking about this weeboo cool stuff, mixing real life concepts with it. And of course, if you have ideas or topics you kind of want us to talk about in the future, we're definitely open to that. Just leave it down in the comment section below. If you want to check out me and Dr. Griffs on our own personal channels, that's also in the description as well. And yeah. So yeah, this is Bam and Dr. Griffs. Peace.